Good afternoon, everyone. It's nice to see you all here today. I'm Logan Basalin. I decided that I'm going to try and do something a little more different on my channel because the only things I really do now on my channel is like weather reports and Sunday videos, and that's about it. I decided that at the end of every month, I'm going to do a monthly recap to see what I did for the entire month. I'm going to talk about my pros and cons, my achievements and failures, some interesting stuff that happened, and non interesting stuff that happened, and just basically any notable and memorable thing that I did for the month. And it's January 2026 right now, and I'm just gonna, more specifically, January 31st, 2026, and pretty much I'm just gonna give a whole recap on what I did this month. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this has been a pretty disappointing start of the year for me. Around New Year's Eve 2025, I made a little list in my head about all the New Year's resolutions that I was gonna do, and there's a whole bunch of them too. I was going to work out again. I was going to eat healthy. I was going to play video games every single day on my brand new gaming PC that I'm recording on right now with the webcam and the monitor and with the microphone that's a little down here. I'm not pointing at my crotch, I'm pointing at the microphone here. See the yellow fuzzy thing? That's the microphone. I was going to make a weather report every single day and not skip any days without a weather report, and a whole bunch of other stuff. I was going to keep my hair short like Clementine. I'm gonna try and have my head bald throughout the rest of the year, and just a whole bunch of other stuff that I kind of forgot about or I didn't really put too much thought in. And guess what? I didn't fulfill any of those resolutions at all. I did not go back to working out. I only worked out once, and that was on January 13, because on January 13, it was actually a pretty nice day out. It kind of felt like spring a little bit. It was warm out, it was sunny, it was windy, but it didn't feel like a blistering cold breeze like it does in winter. It felt like a warm breeze that you usually get in either spring or autumn. It just felt like spring came early, and I decided that, you know what, because it's such a nice day out and because it's January and there's not a whole lot of warm days on January, I decided that, you know what, I'm going to go on an outdoor walk. And that's what I did. I think I burnt like 500 or 700 calories, maybe a little below 500. But yeah, other than that, that was the only time I worked out in January, so I didn't fulfill that. I told myself that I was going to eat healthy, but I didn't fulfill that either. I only ate like one or two apples throughout the entire month, and the rest of it was just mac and cheese and pizza and spaghetti and chicken, McDonald's, Dairy Queen, Culver's, and that wasn't pretty good. And as a matter of fact, I actually think I started eating more. I didn't really cut down on my diet. I didn't really go on a fasting streak. I didn't do any of that. So I didn't fulfill that resolution either. I just I just kept the same diet of unhealthy slop like I usually do. And mostly it was just mac and cheese. Sorry if I don't sorry if I not sorry if I don't look at the camera often. I don't really look at the camera that much. I always look at the screen and off screen and whatever. So sorry if I don't look at the camera, but whatever. So I didn't fulfill those two resolutions, working out and eating healthy. I didn't do either of those. Oh, I mean, I do have protein shakes every now and then, but like I said, I didn't work out. And if you don't work out, then protein shakes are pretty much useless. But I still had protein shakes regardless. Number three, I was going to be very prolific on my brand new gaming PC that I got on a Christmas last year in 2025. So that's about a month now. And a month later, I didn't really do a whole lot of gaming. I skipped a lot of days. I even skipped an entire week shortly after Christmas, and I only played like 6 games total for 1 month. 1 month and a quarter. So that's not good. I was hoping that, and listen, I do like this PC. It's a very high end PC. It's not ultra high end. I might need to upgrade the RDX and the CPU and GPU or whatever, but I still get like 180 FPS on Left 4 Dead with high graphics and stuff. But yeah, I probably need to upgrade it later. But I only played 6 games for an entire month from December 25 to January 31st right now. That's a month and almost 1 week. That's disappointing. And yeah, I was hoping that I would get like an achievement every single day on Steam, but I didn't do that. It's just on Christmas, I most. Where do I start? So yeah, when I got this on Christmas, I installed a whole bunch of games on Steam because there was a huge winter sale happening, and Steam is known for their insane discounts and deals. And I bought like maybe 20 or 30 games for nearly $40, I believe. That's crazy. I got the 2 Left 4 Dead games, I got the Half-Life games, the Portal games, all of the Far Cry games, excluding the Wii ones, obviously. I got GTA 4 and the two versions and the two versions of GTA 5 Legacy and Enhanced, and just a whole bunch of other stuff. That's a lot of games. But sadly, I only did 6. I did Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. The first games I played on Steam and on PC in general were Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. And I mostly played those because they're Valve games and Valve owned Steam. So I believe that if I started with a Valve game, it would have like a better performance or whatever. And Valve is known for making their games super optimized. Gary's Mod, whatever. But I mostly just played Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 to like test out the games and to see if the keyboard and mouse was working correctly and to see if the performance and graphics were right, and they both worked. But it was like December 25 and 26 and 27 and then the 31st. Those were the only games I played. So that was like an entire week right there. Or sorry, week, not reek. Ugh. And then after New Year's Eve, I didn't play for an entire week. I just didn't. On January 6th, I played Left 4 Dead again, and then on January 7, I decided that, you know what? I'm going to play my very first video game series on PC. And do you know what that series was? Telltale's The Walking Dead. Now, the Telltale games you don't really need a super duper high end PC for. They're just simple point and click, episodic choice games. Point and click episodic choice games that don't have graphics. They're cel shaded, very simple animations, not a whole lot of space to install your PC on. But out of all the series, I decided to start with Telltale's The Walking Dead, and I don't know why. I started the series on January 7 with season 1, and I've played season 1 and 2 countless times on Xbox and PlayStation as well with the definitive edition. But that was my first time ever playing the whole Telltale series on PC. And it took me 4 or 5 days to beat season 1, which is pretty bullshit, and not gonna lie. Because all of these games, they're not long at all. You can easily beat all 4 games in one sitting each day. But it took me nearly a week to beat season 1, and then on season 2, it took me less time. It took me 2 or 3 days to beat season 2. Season 3, it took the same amount of time, 2 or 3 days. But season 3 is the shortest out of all of them. It takes you nearly under 6 hours to beat the whole game. Season 3, A New Frontier. And then season 4, I started that on January 24, and then I beat it on January 27. I did episode 1 done running on January 24, and then I did episode 2, 3, and 4 on the 27th. So that is 20 days that took me to beat Telltale's The Walking Dead. And I was also going to plan on playing the Michonne spinoff, but unfortunately it's $15 right now on Steam. And I'm just going to wait for a discount because I really don't want to spend $15 on the Walking Dead Michonne. I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to wait until Gabe Newell decides to give me a nice deal for that. Like under $5 or so, like $3 or $4 for Michonne. I'm just gonna wait for that because I really don't want to play The Walking Dead Michonne. But if there's a deal and I buy it, then I'm gonna have to play it. But yes, 20 days. It should have taken me less than a week to beat all 4 seasons of Telltale's The Walking Dead. It takes like an average of under 10 hours to beat each season, which is crazy. That's like 20 or 30 hours, so that should have taken me less than a week, but for some reason it took me 20 days, so nearly 3 weeks to beat all 4 of them, and I don't know why. So first, I don't play for an entire week at the start of 2026, and then it takes me 20 days to beat 4 simple point-and-click choice-based games by Telltale. I don't know why. I think it's because I was trying to fulfill my New Year's resolutions of working out and fixing my sleep schedule. Definitely fixing my sleep schedule. I've been going to bed at like midnight and sometimes 2 a.m. Sometimes I go to bed at 2 a.m. and then I wake up at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. and it's just like, oh, why am I waking up in the afternoon now? I'm 20 years old and I'm waking up in the afternoon. Please kill me. Jesus. But I am trying to work on that. But mostly I didn't really play because I was too focused on trying to work out and eating healthy and fixing my sleep schedule. And I just get so caught up in them that I don't really have the energy to play games, or sometimes I just forget in general. Sometimes I'll think about playing a game and then I'll like keep waiting the day, and then when it's like 5 or 6 p.m. it's like, okay, now I'll play. But then I spend one more hour scrolling through my phone, and then sometimes I take a shower in the evening, and then it's like already 7 or 8 a.m. or 7 or 8 p.m. and then it's like, dude, it's already nighttime and I'm tired. I'm just gonna go to bed. And that's really why I kept skipping so many days without gaming this month, because I was just so caught up, busy thinking about what I wanted to do, like working out and eating, going to sleep early and waking up early in the morning, that I just didn't really have the energy to play my games. But this time, when February starts, I'm going to try and fulfill all of those resolutions. I think tomorrow, if it's nice out, and by nice I mean it's not going to snow or rain, if it's nice out tomorrow, I'm going to try and get up as early as possible and go on an outdoor walk and then film my Sunday video there when I'm walking. I'm going to try and let natural light in through the window rather than leaving my light on. I don't know why I never thought of opening the curtains and letting natural light in. I used to do that all the time, but now I don't do that because I'm a vampire now. I'm going to try and eat healthy. I'm going to try and return to fasting. I used to fast when I was like 17 or 18, and I got pretty skinny, but now I'm fat again. I have my skinny fat body type again, and it's just not good. But I don't really have a whole lot of resolutions. A lot of it seems simple, but it's really hard, like working out and eating and trying to go to bed on time and trying to play a game every single day and getting achievements every day. It's going to be difficult, but other than a very disappointing start to 2026, I am hoping that when February starts tomorrow, I'm going to try and fulfill all of those resolutions. I'm going to try and discipline myself. I'm going to try and improve my speaking skills. I'm going to do a weather report every single day, and mostly just fixing my sleep schedule and working out. Those are really the 2 things I want to do. But also playing games and doing weather reports and trying to improve my content. And that's about it. Anyways, I don't really want to say too much anymore. I'm running out of time, but thank you all for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Stay safe, have fun, stay warm, and yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all another day. Have a good rest of your day.